What is up, guys? It wouldn't be a Wednesday without a hump.
No.
Were you there that night?
No.
Do you know anything you have not told police? Did you kill Meredith Kircher?
No.
Were you there that night?
No.
Do you know anything you have not told police?
No.
Italians are calling this the trial of the decade.
Did you kill Meredith Kircher?
No.
Were you there that night?
No.
Do you know anything you have not told police?
No.
Italians are calling this the trial of the decade.
We weren't best friends, but I was so shocked by what happened to her.
Their friends were telling us how Amanda had been behaving, performing cartwheels and kissing each other.
This does not look like grief.
I mean, who behaves like that? Of course she did it. She's mad.
Perché la calunniate? Mi potete dare una risposta? Dici, ma chi è responsabile? È un mostro.
That's everyone's nightmare. Either I'm a psychopath in sheep's clothing, or I am you. Suddenly, I found myself tossed into this dark place. I was so scared. I don't know what else to say. Before Italy, I had a happy life. It was very important for me to get out of my comfort zone and see if that made me turn into an adult.
When I was with Amanda, I was so happy. What happened in the night?
Amanda Knox.
Did you kill Meredith?
I mean, some of the information that came out was just completely made up. It made headlines all over the world.
Everyone is talking about
It's
it.
just crazy.
The whole world knew who I had ever had sex with.
She was terrified.
Amanda! I felt like a child again. And I knew I was a kid.
Welcome to Truth and Transparency. Ooh. So what do you guys think? What are you guys' thoughts about Amanda Knox's case? I should probably say Meredith Kutcher's case because somebody did kill her. And
when I first began covering this case, it almost seemed to be a tale of two Amandas. Which was the real one? The innocent girl next door, out of her depth in a foreign country? Or Foxy Knoxie of so many lurid headlines? Knox herself tried to set the record straight in her book called Waiting to be Heard, as she explained to my colleague, Diane Sawyer.
What's the first thing you want people to know about you?
I want the truth to come out. I'd like to be reconsidered as a person.
Hey, it's Amanda Knox from West Seattle.
Amanda Knox says, imagine it was your daughter growing up in a middle-class suburb of Seattle. Her divorced parents still living within walking distance of each other. Above all, she says she loves her family.
The wonderful thing about my family is that we need each other, always, all of us. And whatever happens to one of us happens to us all.
She describes herself as quirky, often too loud, uncensored, strange, like the eccentric heroine of the French film Amélie. But she is still living in Seattle, a junior year in college, on the dean's list, when she decides it's time to leave home and venture out.
An adventure of fill in the blank.
An adventure of selfhood, I'd say. I mean, I was at an age where you know, you're both insecure, but you're confident at the same time.
Naive?
I was naive enough that I didn't understand the way bad things can happen to regular people for no reason.
She worked 3 separate jobs to earn the money for her year abroad. Her sister Deanna dropping her off in Italy, making a video as they head there, teasing her about her new life and the boys she'll meet. First up, that naked Michelangelo statue of David.
The statue of David. Oh. Well, dude, I swear to God.
All right, again, guys, what do you guys think? Welcome to the transparency. Thank you guys for being here. Sorry, I'm like recreating this whole studio that I got going on here. But Amanda Knox, I've talked about this before. I think there are some similarities with the Amanda Knox case, Meredith Kutcher case. Wondering what you guys think. I think for me with this case, it goes back to what somebody wants to think is like normal or not normal, because she was being, I guess kissing her boyfriend. People were like going crazy about that. Like literally people were going crazy because Amanda Knox was standing next to her boyfriend being comforted, and people were like, that's not normal. Okay, well, somebody waits 8 hours, 9 hours to call 911. That's not normal, right? But then they have another chance to call 911 and they still don't do it. But the best friend of Ethan calls 911. So you had not one opportunity to call 911, but you had 2 opportunities to call 911. If you really want to like break it down. I don't know what normal is. I don't like that word, normal. Reactive is more like how do you react to something? I believe in life, it's not about what we do in life. It's about how we react to what happens to us in life that defines us. That's like my philosophy about life. It's you're going to do whatever you do in life, but when something happens to you in life, how do you react to it? That's what's going to define you as a person. Is how you react to what happens to you in life. So people were called over to the house because Ashley Banfield says like maybe we were all going out to brunch that morning. I actually originally thought that, but it wasn't because people were called over. It was because like people just came over because that's what they would normally do on like a Sunday. Like your friends just like pop in because that's what used to happen like back in my day. But guess what? We didn't have cell phones and like texting the way that they have now. Like we did, but we didn't. Yeah. So let's check you guys out here in chat. Again, welcome to the Transparency. This is the Amanda Knox case, Meredith Kutcher case, however you want to call it. I personally don't think that Amanda Knox was involved, but I mean, I look at it the same way I kind of look at this case. You don't know somebody long enough to have some crazy vendetta against them. Like, oh, but why would anybody want to? Why would Amanda Knox? Like, what's her motive to kill? You know, just like I feel like, what's Brian Kohlberger's motive to kill? Oh, because he's a sociopath serial killer. Okay. Well, we'll see how that all plays out. But what this kind of proved to me, this case, is that regardless if Amanda Knox was found guilty or innocent, like this would forever like be like who she is. She's guilty regardless of what would come from the trial. So again, welcome to the transparency. Let's see. Again, those of you guys just joining.
Which was the real one? The innocent girl next door, out of her depth in a foreign country? Or Foxy Knoxie of so many lurid headlines? Knox herself tried to set the record straight in her book called Waiting to be Heard, as she explained to my colleague, Diane Sawyer.
And then last but not least, the media. Do you guys think how big of a role the media played in all of this? And I think at the end of the day, the media played a role, whether she was found innocent or guilty. The media, do you think the media dubbed her Foxy Knoxie. I mean, where do you think that came from? The media, no? Let's see. DJ Mark Levitt, 2023 Miss Lana. Hello from Brooklyn, New York. I'm DJ Mark Levitt. I totally mad swag, love you and your entire platform with the sickest peeps. Thank you, DJ Mark. I just loved all the emojis. Sophie thinks that she is so guilty. Hi, Jeremiah. I think for me, the media played like such a big role in this. But I think that they got it right, and I think that we can think she's guilty. We can think that she's innocent. We can think, but at the beginning of any case, it's, but this wasn't in the United States, so innocent until proven guilty. But she lived in Seattle. Seattle's not that far from, obviously, Pullman. It's just like, what, 4 or 5 hours? I wonder what she thinks about Moscow, Idaho. So what if I was to get Amanda Knox to come on here and talk about Moscow, Idaho? What do you guys think? I would just love to know her take on this. I agree. The media played a huge role in that. Doctor says 50-50 on this young lady here. She's a smart young lady. It is. You have DNA in the toilet of. You have semen. I mean, like, wow. What is hi, crazy chick? How are you? Good to see you here. Love ya. She's a sociopath. Like, I just think that's hilarious for someone to say who's like never met her, talked to her. She's a sociopath. Oh, put your real name out there and say that. Talk about defamation. It was her behavior afterwards. I think that, I don't know how, you guys think about this. Ready? Can you imagine if the media was there in the parking lot or in the driveway, whatever you want to call it, at 1122 King? What would they say? What would they say about this case if the media was actually there, like on spot, to be able to witness how people were acting at 1122 King? They'd be like, oh my God, all y'all are guilty. All you guys just did it together, the media just couldn't get there fast enough. Like, think about that. How quick though was to be able to see her even standing out there. I have to ask you guys this, like, why wasn't she with the authorities? How can she just be standing there and be able to even be like loved on by her boyfriend? How does that even happen? She should be like with authorities talking, right? Like, how is she just standing there? If only Murphy could talk. I know, right? Maybe people should start putting body cams on their dogs, like around their collars. I thought about that. You know, when people say like she didn't care. When you're in shock, I just think that you're just like, you don't know how to look or how to feel or whatever. Like, you're just like, what the hell happened? I'm not here to defend her or prosecute her. I'm here to simply show that none of that is evidence. Like, none of that is evidence. She didn't act the way that I think that she should have acted. She did not do what I think that I would do. So, like, that's just weird. Like, what? No, that's just not even a normal sentence right there. Now, you tell me that she sat in a home for 9 hours and didn't call 911 and just chilled. Yeah, weird. But so, like, the way that people like crucified this woman, do you see like do you see any like similarities to like what is about to happen? You got BK getting crucified. You got Dylan and Bethany. I feel like it's half, maybe even more so, like getting crucified. But you know, we don't know. We weren't there. How can you not smell it? How can you not do this? How can you not do that? It's just like, you guys, we see like people see a 20-second clip. It's like, well, what about the other like 20 minutes that you didn't play where she was maybe bawling? Like, you know what I mean? Or for example, if there was a camera on the people that would have been at 1122 King standing outside, them standing there on their cell phones laughing or something, but then they're here before they were crying. And I mean, it's just, you don't know how you would be. Yeah, I'd be numb. Yep. New justice system equals media. Lana, do you think in those 8 hours Dylan left her room? Maybe checked the other rooms? I want to see Dylan's phone records. It's 2023. It was 2022 when this happened. Just a couple days off of being 2023. I want to see phone records. I want to see if people have burner phones. Nowadays, when you walk with your phone in your hand, they can calculate your steps that you take. It depends if you have your Google stuff on or off to be able to get that, data. Do I think that anybody could have just stayed in their bedroom until 11:56 a.m. and not come out if they were drinking heavily the whole day before to not have to pee that morning at any point in time? I think that if I was on the jury, I'd ask those type of questions. I think that if this person was making phone calls with their phone, if I need more. I know that when you do go to bed at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, it is easy to sleep until 11 o'clock. So like, I'm not going to go off of that. So if you tell me that you went to bed at like 4:30 in the morning, I'd have no problem believing that you woke up at 11 and then we all lay in bed and we're like looking at our social media. We're looking at our phone. We're looking at TikTok. We're looking at whatever. And then by the time we like actually want to like get out of bed. So do I believe all of that? Like, yeah, I think that that's totally plausible that, and I said that from the beginning. I have no issues with anybody that goes to bed at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to not get up until 11. None. Even if it's like a weird smell, if you were drinking, if you were doing drugs and you were, and then if you took a sleeping aid, no issues with that. Like, for me in college, if I'm inviting people over to my house, I'm usually up out of bed before I'm just like telling people to come over. Because I want to like brush my teeth, like put myself somewhat together. So I think that I would have used the bathroom if it was not to like at least brush my teeth. Maybe it wouldn't have been, even if I didn't have to pee at that point, to brush my teeth, brush my hair, take a shower. But I think that it's totally understandable that you go to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30, whatever, and you don't wake up until 11:30, and you're just like dicking around on your phone. And your first messages and phone calls were at 11:30. Totally fine with that. But if there's messages at like 10, do I believe that she just was in her room for 2 hours? No. But if your first movement on your cell phone was at like 11:30 a.m. and you texted all your like roommates and was like, hey guys, let's all go to brunch, or hey guys, I think that phone records for me as a juror would come into play. If you give me a blank notebook, I'm going to sit there and I want to hear it all out. So, do I think that there's informants involved? Absolutely. I think that people that were involved with this, they were informants before the murders ever happened. There could be multiple informants. But what's kind of sick, in my opinion, is that if you called somebody over to come over so that they would find the bodies and you didn't have to deal with any of that, that's kind of sick. Like, but then how did they get in if the house was locked up? I never just walked into people's houses. Like, I knocked on the door. So like, did you like get up out of your bed to like open the door? Like, what door do people come to when they come to your house? They just walk in. Why am I calling them over? Am I texting them? And like, what's the purpose of it? Like, hey, let's Sunday fun day. Like, what's going on? Like, but I think it would be sick to have somebody purposely, if you knew all that, to like make somebody else find the bodies and to put them through that. I think that's really, really not okay. Now, what Ashley Banfield said, God, I love her. I would totally probably take her out on a date just so I could like fuck with her a little bit. Be like, is this really what you think, girl? Come on now. But she would just be a feisty person to like just like bullshit with, like, and have like, all right, girl, let's just have a martini, call it a day. Like, you have your opinion, I have mine, whatever. But I'm not gonna tell you who it is, but it was Ethan's best friend. Well, his best friend, in my opinion, is his brother. His brother is his best friend. His brother put on actually his like post, this is my brother and my best friend. And that's how I feel about my sister. I mean, that's my sister, but she's my best friend. I mean, but to say like this is Ethan's best friend, or it was Ethan's best friend who, checked the pulse. And then she's like describing a situation that's just like, did they go upstairs and check the other, like, did they think that this happened upstairs? Did they think that, and just because like you said, how are you gonna say that this is Ethan's best friend? Ethan's not here to tell you who his best friend is. So this is how I looked at it. This isn't Ethan's best friend. This is whoever is saying that they're Ethan's best friend. There's a totally different, like that's totally different. So it was you know, and I think he went ahead and he went on some, what was it? I mean, I have the pictures, but just because you say you're my best friend, like, or I'm your best friend, it doesn't mean that I would say that you're my best friend. So there's a difference. So, and Ethan's dead right now. So I don't know how Ashley Banfield would know who Ethan's best friend is. You could say that this person considers Ethan their best friend, but you could never say that this person, or you could never say that this is Ethan's best friend. Ethan's not here to tell you who his best friend is. So I think it's important to point that out too. And the way that Hunter talks, Hunter is saying that Ethan's his best friend. And I just want to say to Hunter so bad, like, when did you and Ethan develop this friendship? Because you're a fifth year and Ethan is like basically a sophomore. It's his second year. And what's up, y'all? So I just don't understand when you would even have the opportunity to become best friends, because a lot of people just don't even associate like that. Like, you're like this past year, like that November, that October, this past September, that is 2022. And that's Hunter Johnson's, that's his fifth year. And it's Ethan's second year. So when did y'all become besties? Just because guys are weird about that. Girls are less weird about it, but guys are really weird about that. But yeah. So to say like this was Ethan's best friend, no, you can say this is whoever did this, check the pulse, found him. If they want to say that that's my best friend that I found, that's how I would be wording that. I would never be wording it that this is Ethan's best friend. Like, Ethan's not alive to tell you who his best friend is. So that's the first thing I saw about that, because I think that his best friend's his brother. That's my take. But so I do want to talk about this is Ethan's mom and dad did a very early interview, and they talked about they wanted to put to bed some rumors, which was a love triangle and then drugs. And I'm just like, what the fuck, love triangle? Like, I don't look at Ethan as some big player, you know, like, what's he two-timing Xana? Like, what's up? And so I was just like, where is this like love triangle coming from? And well, maybe it's coming from the person that says that they're best friends with Ethan. I don't know. So I think that the people that the more and more I was looking at some stuff, and I want to know if there was a video camera and a tripod in that room. But where those rumors would come from, that there was like a love triangle, you'd immediately think like Ethan and another girl and Xana. But I'm leaving all my options open because it's 2022, 2023. And you'd have to include that it could be a boy as well. So, but I don't know where that came from. But she wanted to come out and talk about the drugs and that there was rumors about drugs. This was not drug related, and this was not like a love triangle gone wrong. And I'm like, who the fuck said that? I didn't know that was even on the table. But in Moscow, maybe it was on the table. Maybe that's what they were talking about. But how like this is what I think. If you really want to break something down, and the cops do it so often, and people that are guilty do it so often. You think that we know what you know because you know it. So you just think that your paranoia kicks in and you're like, oh my God, like this is what other people like know. But we don't know it. But then when you start like saying weird things and start talking about something, then like, okay, now we're going to know it. That's kind of how I feel about some parts of this case is like people are talking and saying things like that we know something. We don't know it yet, but now you're saying something and now I'm able to put 2 and 2 together. Not 10 on top of 2, but 2 and 2 together. And then I was looking at some of the camps that some of these Greek guys were going to. There's a camp called like Lost, L-O-S-T, Lost. And you do know what that's all about, right? I was like, this camp called Lost. I was like, okay, what's that? Google it, look it up. Oh God, okay. This is for people that, they've lost their way. This has to do with homosexuality. So it's going to be very interesting and how all this plays out. But we'll see what's up. What is up, Maple Beef? Boston, New Orleans lady, Bumblebee, Floydie, all you guys. People send their kids away to camp to get the gay out of them, by the way. I don't know if you guys know that. I was looking into some stuff. I mean, I've heard about it, but I wanted to like go a little. I found Camp Lost Boys. Yeah, exactly. I know it is disgusting. They want you to like they get the gay away from you or something. But I was looking into some stuff, and I also looked into what was it? Doc. Is Doc still in here? I was looking into Olivia's video that she did. That truck. Looked into that. Looked into some things with that truck. I think this case is nothing what it's being presented as. And if I was able, and I haven't told you guys half the shit that I found, but if I was able to find what I'm able to find, there's just no way that Anne is not going to be able to find this stuff. Like, it's just wild. Moscow has a lot of secrets. There's a lot of secrets. Do I think they're all connected? Absolutely not. But how I know that you could like get somebody to do something for you is when you have stuff on somebody. So if I came to you and I said, listen, if I go down or my kid goes down, this whole fucking department's going down because I'm going to tell them, remember, this is what we did when XYZ happened. Remember this, remember that. So I'm about to take you down. So could people not be involved, but they had no choice but to like do something in order for like, dude, they're blackmailing you in a sense. Like, okay, well, if I go down, trust me, all you motherfuckers are going down. Because we're going to talk about this. And so you're like, oh my God. What are you talking about? That type of stuff. Thank you there, Jennifer. Super sticker. What is up? Deja vu. How are you, love? I'm looking into very, very deeply where Kaylee was going for her job and who this all entailed. Like, whoa. I'm looking into the LinkedIn account that got deleted. I'm very curious to find out if Dylan and or Bethany had vehicles. I'm looking forward to that answer. That has to come out. If that does not come, if that is not a question, I mean, whoa. That needs to be a question. Oh, I want to know what is in BK's hard drive. My guess is nothing. My guess is nothing. Let me ask you guys a question. If he was let go from his job and his position, and he would have known this, that things were going way south because he kept getting, called in and talked to and blah, blah, blah. Why would his apartment have a fucking thing in it? Why would there be anything in his apartment? Think about that. Like, he's had all these issues, and why would he have everything? Why would there be all this shit in there? Why would his apartment have all this shit in there if he didn't think he was returning? All he had to do, let me just tell you. Let me just tell you, he would have had like the best, he would have had the best reasons for literally clearing out his whole shit. Everybody wants to talk about this, like, oh my God, he got fired. He got fired because he was doing this, that, and the other. Okay, awesome. Well, he would have known, A, he just murdered 4 people. He's getting fired, but I'm going to leave all of this shit in this apartment for you guys to go ahead and get your hands on, when I could easily take this shit, put it in my car, throw it out in the dumpster, do whatever I want with it, because I have totally a reason to say, yeah, y'all bitches are going to fire me. And if I lose my TA position, like, I'm really fucking up my program here and I need to go somewhere else. So I left. Like, they wouldn't be able to say boo diddly dick about that. In fact, like, that's a very, very plausible. Oh my God. Can you guys imagine what would have happened? Check this out. Oh my God, we went to Brian Kohlberger's and there was nothing in there. Do you want to know what everybody would have run with? Like, oh my God, he cleared the place out. He did this, he did that. He cleared it out. He's so guilty. He got rid of all the evidence. And then here would have been like, the mofo was fired. So he had to pack up his shit and he had to leave because he was fired, And it's like, well, what is it, guys? Is he fired? Is he, But I just kind of think in the back of my head, if Brian was trying to destroy evidence and do all this stuff, like, he would have had an out. Like, they're firing you, so you're going to go somewhere else. And so pack up all your stuff. They can't get anything. They can't get any of your books. They can't get any of your, laptop, hard drive, whatever, even though they said they only took like 11 things, but they were carrying buckets out. That's going to be really interesting in court. You just see them walking out with all this shit. And they're over here just like, we only took 11 things. The fuck are you talking about? And then, wait, why didn't you take the whole fucking vacuum? Don't you want the shit that's all in the pipes of the vacuum? Don't you want the shit that's in like the, you know, your, what is it, your bristles that like vacuum your shit all up? Don't you want all of that? Like hair could have been wrapped around. Like, what's going on here? Why aren't you just taking the whole vacuum? Why are you just taking the little, the little pouch that stores all the, your filter? Why are you just taking the filter? Why aren't you taking the whole fucking thing? Like, are you guys in second grade processing a scene? I don't understand that. Oh, there's the vacuum. We need that. Take the vacuum. That's evidence. There you go. Take the whole thing. Ooh. Oh, we came across Brian Kohlberg on November 29th. Did you question him? No, why would we do such a thing? You didn't ask him? You didn't ask him if he drives a white Elantra? You didn't ask him where he was on November 13th or 12th or... No. Why would we do that? Well, why wouldn't you? What were you doing with all the other people that were sending in leads saying, we found this white Elantra, we found that, we found this, we found that. That car's over there. It's in this parking lot. Take a picture of it, send it in. What'd you guys do when you guys got those leads? What'd you do with it? What'd you do with the leads? Did you call anybody? Can you imagine an officer on the stand? Well, no, I didn't call anybody that had a white Elantra. I didn't call anybody. We already had our guy. We already knew who he was. We already knew who we were looking at. Well, did you call him? Well, no, we didn't call him. Why not? The hell are you talking about? You never questioned him? You didn't ask him, like, I mean, did you ask anybody else? Well, yeah, we asked other people. So you asked other people? Yeah. They were trying to say that this Jack Kevarkian had a car like that. So we questioned him. He's like a sophomore in college. Like, kid, come on now. Okay, so when you got that tip, you called him up and you asked him what he was doing? Oh, yeah, we asked him. He said he was picking people up and driving them around all night because he was like some chauffeur or something. Oh, okay. Yeah. Did you ask him to see inside the car? Did you look inside the car? No. We just called him up and asked him for his for his phone, you know. We just downloaded his phone. Okay, then what'd you do with it? Well, then we were already on to Brian Kohlberger. When did this happen? Oh, it was like, you know, the 16th of November. What? Oh, yeah. Like, what? Like, do you guys understand, like, what's about to happen up in this fucking courtroom? Hey. I thought they were just partying, Ashley Banfield says. She just thought it was a party or a party goer and that they were just leaving. With masks on? Yeah, because that's what they do all the time with the Sigma Chi people. Like, they're always masked up. What? Well, then why is she like, Xana's crying and she's all scared and she locks the door? What the fuck are you all talking about? Yeah. I mean, she opened up her door 3 times. Yeah. And she didn't see anybody. So where's this party happening? She got up and didn't see anybody. 1 time. She got up, 2nd time, didn't see anybody. But there's a fucking party going on. What? And then a 3rd time she gets up and then she crossed paths. With who? With just some dude. He was at the party. She just thought he was a party goer. And he was just leaving. What? But she remembers that he had bushy eyebrows. Well, all of Moscow has bushy eyebrows, if you ask me. I think everybody in Moscow has bushy eyebrows. Unless their parents, unless their moms were like, listen, we're gonna like make sure you like, So he had no knife in his hand. No, he didn't have a knife in his hand. Oh, okay. So the guy didn't have a knife in his hand. He was wearing all black, had a black mask on. Yeah, because that's what all the Sigma Chi's do. They come over here all the time and they just like fiddle around with us all the time. They throw deer nuts on our freaking porch. They put coyote carcasses on our porch too. Like they just think they're so funny. And then we just like throw tampons on their, Sigma Chi porches where like they play basketball and stuff like that. We doused their court one day with like all like pig blood. We just like put it all over that. Oh, okay. So you guys like prank each other. Oh God, that's all we do is we just prank. Okay. Awesome. So you didn't see the guy with a knife in his hand. So where was the knife? Because he didn't have the sheath because it was upstairs allegedly, right? I mean, I cannot believe that people would ever like if I was sitting there as a jury member and this is what the fuck you're gonna tell me, I'm gonna be like, y'all are fucking crazy. Like this is like, and like people's parents, like, dude, my kid's 7. My kid's 7. If he mentions the word Greek, I'm like tackling him. Like people's parents are just like, yeah, my kid can totally rush. Are you serious? Do you see what the fuck they do to each other? This is like bullying like 101, but it's like, woo, we all cheer it on. What the fuck is going on around here? Oh, your kid just can't take it. My kid can't take what? No, my kid's not a fucking pussy ass bitch that bows down to your fucking kid and he tells you to go suck your own dick, motherfucker. That's what my kid's gonna tell your kid when he says, "Why are you being such a pussy and not drinking?" Well, because my kid doesn't need a drink to be cool. Oh man, he can only drink half of the bottle instead of the whole bottle. Well, I'm so sorry that your fucking dad's a lush. Like, what's going on here? Like, that's what's happening. Like, parents are like all for this. Y'all are crazy. Like, that's what's going on. People are dying because y'all are having like chugging contests with bottles of vodka. Like cum chicada and stuff like that. Like, what? Like, my kid's going to tell your kid that my kid's not going to go Greek, but that's just crazy. Just absolutely out of this world crazy. It is literally bullying. Not all Greeks are bullies. You know what's funny? Is they teach us nowadays, like when you are in first grade, everybody gets a trophy. You get picked. You're getting a trophy. Second, third, fourth, everybody gets a trophy. But then when you get to college, nope, the Greek life, they get to be like, nope, we're not bidding on you. But I thought everybody wins. I thought everybody gets a trophy. Nope. Okay, like, I'll totally do this just so I can get into this house. What? Like, not all Greeks are like that. Yeah. You'd be surprised. You didn't bid on somebody, but I thought everybody gets a trophy in life. But they hate on us because we don't pass them the ball in sports. Just think it's funny. All you athletes are crazy. No, all you Greek folks are nuts. Last time I checked, we're over here like it's just nuts. It's just nuts. It's crazy. So how does this all play out in court? Moscow needs a scapegoat to make sure that everyone's like, listen, this all happened because a crazy person moved from Pennsylvania and he moved and he sat there and he went to school for 7 weeks, 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 10 weeks. and they decided to like go and kill 4 people because he didn't have what they had. He wanted to be a serial killer. That's an easy sell. And that makes you want to still go to that school because it's not like there's anything wrong with that school. It was just like that one individual came there from Pennsylvania. Like, keep out these East Coast people. You know what I mean? And that's fine. Let Idaho believe that. But that's not the truth. And I've been putting it out there. It's not the truth. I think it's sad. I think this is really, really sad. And the saddest part about it all is that if it wasn't for Kaylee's parents being so vocal, I would have probably never looked into this case. Like, they knew something was up day one. And so, like, all I can pray for is that they continue to have a brain, because they do. You watch those interviews, they know that what they're being told is not the truth. I just hope that they don't stop being the alpha that is clearly needed, because they're about to blame one person. This wasn't one person. This wasn't one person. Could he be involved? Absolutely. Absolutely. Was it him by himself for being some stalker? Absolutely. No. And if that was my daughter, that was my son, I would bite some bullets, like, because I know what they're going to try to say is that we don't want certain things to come out because it's going to put your daughter or your son in bad light. So, like, we don't want that. So let's just, like, you know, if we cut a deal and he just pleads to, like, you know, X, Y, and Z, this doesn't have to go to trial. Fuck no. Absolutely not. Because if you meant the words that you said in the beginning that you don't want this to happen to other people, then you're not going to take that deal. You're not going to take that deal. If I mean what I'm saying when I say that I don't want this to happen to other people, then you don't take that deal. Because if you take that deal, then this is going to happen to other people. Because it's going to get brushed under the rug. That's the truth. If you know that those lights were on in that home when this happened, nobody was driving around and waiting then until the lights were off. They came in there with not a care in the world, thinking that they were going to get away with this because it didn't matter if the lights were on. It doesn't matter. But think about it. If he goes away and just doesn't, like, press it, and if he knows things, like, I know he knows things. I know he knows things. He says he knows things. I have no reason to think that he's lying. I have no reason to think that Kaylee's dad's lying. I think he went to Idaho. You don't think that he knows how they roll? He knows how they roll. So I think that when people want to talk about, like, this huge conspiracy and that, like, there's, like, all these people involved, I don't agree with that. I don't think there's, like, all these people involved. I think what happens is that when somebody has you by the nuts because you did something back in the day and they know what you did, whether you did it with that person or not, but they know it and they can prove it or whatever. They get people to bow down, shut up, do this, because otherwise, because if I go down or my kid goes down, I'm taking your whole fucking department down. I'm taking you down. I'm taking everybody down. So when you want to think that like all these people like were being active in the actual setup of this, no. It was like a tweener. It was a before and after deal. People were involved before it happened to make sure that this is what was happening. But then after it happened, it made sure that, okay, then we're going to do X, Y, and Z to make sure that you do what we say or you just look the other way. So when you want to say that there were so many people involved, there's people that made it that way, not because it was that way from jump. That's my opinion. Because that's not how things get accomplished in life. If you tell everybody what the hell you're doing when you're doing illegal shit, this shit wouldn't come to fruition. It's just not how it works. But like all small towns, there's people that run it. And if you think the police department's those people, no. They're not the ones with like the power. You'd be surprised. Are we saying drugs? Hell yeah, there's drugs involved. There's drugs involved. There's sex involved. So for all you guys that talk about Brent, the Marine that was shot and murdered, basically, as far as I'm concerned, I looked into his email addresses. Oh, it was most certainly sex and drugs. That's fact. Snitches and informants? Absolutely. I was into Brent, and I wanted to look into his email addresses. And his email addresses are the following that I thought were interesting. Let's see. Check this out. Buy from cop. That was one of his email addresses. Buy from cop at Gmail. Brent Bud. Clearfire 69. I think the biggest one that stuck out to me was buy from cop. The police knew who this man was. They knew what he was doing. I'm alleging those two things, as well as I'm alleging that what happened to him, it's sick. It's disgusting. He had over 30 addresses. A lot of time in Chicago. I mean, who has email addresses like that? Buy from cop. Whoa. Sick. I never realized what a pipeline. Yep, his name's Kapaka, so that's why he spelled it like this, though. So like that. Yeah. So but I never realized what a pipeline Idaho was. I mean, no offense, but I've never been to Idaho in my life. I had to do a bunch of like learning about Idaho, but that pipeline from Idaho leads right up to Canada and flushes you all the way down to Mexico. Idaho's a big pipeline. Then, whether you guys believe this or not, but when you guys actually email me, I do read your emails. If I don't always respond, trust me, I definitely read them. Some of them I just shake my head. I'm not going to lie, but there are some that I'm like, okay, I want to look into something. And one that caught my eye to look into was this whole, like, if you're able to know when, like, what's really big in that area is like all these pills, like, and it's like, damn, if you can get your hands on the pills before they get flamed, so, and I posted on some of my community posts, but we're not talking about weed. We're not talking. This has to do with double dipping. This has to do with getting your people all doped up, then to take the government money to help them, only to like dope them up again. Some sick ass shit. But that's what you call double dipping. You take the money that you're getting from the government to like aid in their rehab, only to dope them back up so that they like need to do this, that, and the other. It's just it's a sick cycle, but it's fucking huge with money. It's money, money, money. If you're on a list, the government gives you aid, and if you don't think this is a drug crime, as pathetic as you think that I am, I'm gonna high five you right back. When you're messing with an operation, so if somebody was gonna blow the whistle on what the hell was going on, that's oof. Go look it all up. Look at how much money you get to rehabilitate people. If you're on the list of counties and areas that get the money, you get government aid. And then that's when like the real stealing happens, when you're just scraping the money and you're acting like it's going to this, that, or the other. And if not, it's going to people's pockets. You guys can think it's whatever crime you guys want to think it is. It would be It would be open and shut if it was so open and shut. Why isn't it open and shut? They're telling us it's a complicated case. We're not saying that. That's their words. I've played it. This is a complicated case. This is complex. The fuck are you talking about? What's so complex about a guy that was stalking people that you said that he was some fucking sick weirdo motherfucker and then he came and killed them? That's not complex to me. That isn't complex. That's a sick individual. Just like the sick individual that shot up Michigan State, right? Sick individuals, right? What's complex about that? Come on. The hell's wrong with us? Use our brains, man. They're the ones telling us it's complicated. Well, what's so complicated? I thought this guy was just stalking them. He was by their house 12 times. No, he pinged off of a tower that house used to get Wi-Fi. What's complicated? He sat outside the house and stalked them. He's from Pennsylvania. He just moved here. He just drives around and, oh, that house was always bumping all the time. So he sat outside and, oh, that house is bumping. So you're going to kill people in a house that has all these people coming and going all the time, and you think that you're going to get away with that? It's crazy. Think about this, guys. If it was your kid, would you bite the bullet to know this? Let me think. Okay, it's gonna come out that my kid sold drugs. Okay, do you know how many people sell drugs? Are they freaking stabbed to death how many times with their friends in a house, but 2 other people are just waking up like it's Sunday morning brunch, as Ashley Banfield put it? Lana, please change the picture of Foxy. If that's what's on your mind, God bless us. God bless us. There you go. How about that one? Is that better? Here you go. How about that? You guys, I just get so heated about this because I don't think people put their themselves in the position of, like, if this was your kid. So, okay, my kid sold drugs, or okay, my kid had a 3-way, or my kid did this. That's not what, like, this is way deeper than that. This is way deeper than that. Nobody gets stabbed to death because they had a threesome. Nobody gets 4 people aren't unalived, okay? As the media wants to use that word so much. This isn't some stalker. A stalker doesn't do that. A stalker wants you 1v1. That's not what this is. That's not the profile. Ask anybody that's a profiler. They're never going to tell you that. They're never going to be like, yeah, this is totally the marking of a stalker. That's not what they're going to say. So it's like I said, I just hope that Kaylee's sister is, I know she's expecting her child, and I can't imagine, Kaylee was supposed to be there for that. I can't imagine, Maddie's family, Ethan's family, Xana's family. Like, it just. Keep fighting. Keep fighting for the truth. Keep fighting for the truth. And when they say to you that we want to preserve the, we want your daughter to be remembered this way, and if we go forward with this, then this is going to come out, and this is going to come out. Say bring it, because if certain things do come out, you should probably find out why your daughter or your son would ever be involved in something like that. Did they get in trouble for, like, let's say, like, underage drinking, and somebody was like, well, no, don't worry. We won't make sure that you get in trouble for that if you do this for us, if you become a CI, if you become, if you do this, if you do that. Find out how it all happened. Find out the truth. Like, I would want the truth. I would want to know who took advantage of my child. At some point in time, I believe that all these people that were brutally murdered, I believe at one point in time, they were all taken advantage of. I do believe that. Because these kids collectively or by themselves are not, in my opinion, starting up some fucking operation. But they think that they can just, take on, like, let's start a business doing XYZ. No, not at all. You wouldn't have 48 fucking FBI agents there. Then went to 60. And guess what? It's only growing. It's only growing. You ask, well, we can't talk to them or they can't leave. How many FBI agents are still in Moscow? How many FBI agents are still there? Are they still there? Give me a break. So all I can do and pray is that there's nothing going to bring back their kid. But I'm going to tell you this. Not if my kid was gone, there's nothing. No, I'm going to know exactly what. If you want to help people to make sure that this doesn't happen again, then you don't settle. Settling is what will make it go away. Settling could possibly put an innocent man away. I want everybody involved, and I want whoever took advantage of they're children, in my opinion. These are kids, man. But there's some parents out there, in my opinion, that they know what they've been doing for years. And there's other parents that know that these parents have been doing it for years. Well, don't not be the alpha. You know what's up. You know your gut. You need to follow it. Okay? This isn't some sociopath that one day got the urge to go and stab 4 people. 4 people that he has zero ties to in any capacity, moved across from the other side of the name, like, boom. Never had an issue with any of these other colleges. In fact, gets some recommendations and goes West Coast to go follow in this program. And now you got this stuff coming out here that he got fired. Well, then why is all his shit in his apartment? Because he just left it there. Oh, yeah, after he killed 4 people. Okay. Oh, yeah, because that was his trigger, man. He was triggered. What are you talking about? Did you guys look at those dates? Look at these dates. These dates are fucking wild. I can't even. Yeah, this wasn't sexual at all. And I just really wish that you want to talk about like mainstream media. You have all these sources. Put them on air. I'm right here. Like put your sources on air, or don't let them speak, or save it. Save that story for later. But like I just coming out and just saying all this mumble jumble bullshit is just mm. You want to talk about where somebody went to school, you want to talk about like facts of the matter of like, you know, but that shit is crazy. Ooh, 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 ooh. No, whatever nobody asks, 100%. I agree with. I don't think that nothing in life, nothing. When people want to say like, they will never justify. It's not about justification. It's about saving other people's lives. Mr. Gonsalves came out and he said that, you know, it was about like people. He was talking about plural, like that people need to be held accountable. So this doesn't happen to other people, other people's kids. Well, this will continue to happen. You may not be stabbed to death, but your life will be ruined if the truth doesn't come out. I just really, 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 really want to know who was cleared within an hour. And if the Gonsalveses are listening right now, put a request into your LinkedIn, your daughter's LinkedIn, and do a you want all the activity that's happened in the last year with your daughter's account. You want that report. You want the report of, you know, this would be like anybody that's like searched her, anytime that she made a change in anything, when she put that she was maybe working somewhere, anything, but get the last year's worth of activity on the LinkedIn account. And then if you're able to have those passwords, you need to look at your daughter's bank records. Get your daughter's bank records. And then take your bank records. And any time that you would have given her money, you need to sit there and you need to look at her bank records and your bank records. Anytime that you've ever, you know, would have given her money for anything. Take your bank records and hers. And if she said that she was working, whenever she said that she was working, there should be direct deposits. And if they're not there, just do it. Just do it. So, again, take your daughter's bank records. And then look at your bank records. And then take your phone. And then go through your phone. And then look at any time that you've ever talked to each other back and forth with any of your apps to any type of money. And look at the money. You have your lawyer. You can have your lawyer do a lot. But you need to start just, and you need to go back like sophomore year of college. That's when I would go. If you need to go back further, you can go back further, but at least go back to the sophomore years. You like that? Yeah, if the account, but all that stuff's backed up. So you can do like a request for stuff. So I would request all the activity. But you can be trafficked and not be kidnapped. Yeah, sex trafficking. I think that people need to look up what sex trafficking is versus like human trafficking. It's different. There you go. Yes. Guys, keep the faith. We're going. Keep on keeping on. LinkedIn and all other social media tracks, all IP logins. To me, it's not about who logged in. To me, I'm just curious of who. Go back and watch the 4th episode that I just did on the Moscow murders, and Leah, correct. I have a BA in criminal justice with account pre-law. None of this makes sense. Yeah, no, doesn't. It's not normal. And I just think that everybody that wants to say this is just so open and shut. If it was so open and shut, then none of this would be going on. You got your crazy man. You know, go nail his dick to the wall. That's what I say. Thank you there, Sandy, Colorado. Appreciate you. I don't know what to think about it, honestly. Lana, do you think that Brian is completely innocent? Well, I know that his name is Bryan. I do know that. Do you think he was not involved in any way? I'm late coming out loud, like your opinion. I look at that PCA and I think it's shit, but that doesn't mean people say like, well, they have all this other stuff. Well, I still think the PCA is shit. It doesn't matter what they have. The PCA is still shit. I think the Gonzalez family are the only ones that want answers. Well, I think I kind of explained why. If you want answers, it's going to come with like they're going to like that, like everybody does everybody. They gaslight you, they manipulate you, like, oh, we don't want this to come out because if we go and do this, then this is going to make your kid look bad. I'm like, my kid's dead, man. What are you talking about look bad? My kid, I want to know why my kid was dead. I want to know why my kid was murdered. Why is my kid dead? Why? Yep. And I just think that I think that I think my gut tells me that they're gonna stick to it. My gut tells me that they're not gonna, when 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4, they're not gonna accept it. So if I think that I could read anybody in the way that I read this family, no way. He wears his heart on his sleeve when he talks to the media. He's like, and then his other daughter's there, his son's there, and they're telling you, they're like, watch their body language. They are just so like, we've given you guys so much and we're staying quiet, but we're wondering why you're not doing anything with what we've given you. Only to come out and find out that a couple weeks later, now all of a sudden you have this stranger to us. And then you're telling us that Somebody went in there trying to say that our daughter was being stalked and she was telling people that. She never told any of them that. She never told one person in her family that she was being stalked. Oh, that was interesting. But I think that I would be, I mean, guess what? Who cares what comes out? Because you know what I learned over the years, over the past couple years to be exact, is that let these people victim blame and let's see what happens to them. They're going to get eaten up in the media. I don't care what could possibly come out about any one of those 4 victims, but you're not going to see people going crazy on the victims. Or they're the biggest hypocrites then. Because we see it every day, like you're victim blaming, you're doing this. So keep that in the back of your mind. Do not sell out and believe that, oh, this is going to make your kid look bad or whatever. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's not. Your kid is not going to be looked at bad. You're in college, you're partying, you're doing this, you're doing that. Who gives a shit if people were over there? Oh, we went to this house. Yeah, because it's an off-campus house. It's right there. It's so convenient. It's like literally right across the street from campus. Like, doesn't mean our house is a drug house. It means our house is where we go because it's like literally we could just walk across the street and do this. Who cares? Whatever they were doing, it doesn't matter. That's what kids do. They experiment in college. Drinking, drugs, it's sex, even sex with like the same sex person. Like the shit that goes on in college, it's like Vegas. That doesn't define you. Okay? So if somebody was to tell me that, I would look at them and say, do you think I'm dumb? You think I'm going to like fall for your gaslighting bullshit? Nope. If you want people, especially young girls coming up and through that area, this to never happen again. Because guys, maybe it's not that you get stabbed to death. You know, maybe it's just that, oh, they make it seem like that you had a drug overdose, or they make it seem like, you know, this or that, or, you know, get to the bottom of the root of the evil of the problem, and you're going to save lives. That's the truth. It makes me sad. It makes me sad that, and when somebody says that to you, when somebody wants you to compromise and try to like tell you that, like you should look at them and think that they're guilty. Like, who has the balls to say that to somebody that just lost their kid and say like, oh, well, we don't want your kid to look bad, so we don't want this to come out because it's going to make your kid look bad. What are you talking about? My kid looks pretty bad right now. They're dead. Like, that would infuriate me if somebody thought that they could say that to me. My kid looked bad? What are you talking about? My kid is dead. My kid looks pretty bad. Motherfucker, fuck you. And you should wonder why they're saying that to you. I wouldn't take it as like they care about you. They don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about you. Nobody says that to somebody. That's bullshit. Just keep fighting. Let the truth come out in court. Follow the evidence. And if Brian Kohlberger is guilty, then nail his ass to the wall. But if other people are guilty with him, fight for them to be nailed to the wall just as hard. Because anybody with a damn 2 cents in their brain, you didn't get to Brian Kohlberger because you ran down Elantras. Give me a break. You know how long that would take you? I don't care if you have 48 FBI. I don't care what you say you have. You got shit. Okay. That's a bunch of bullshit. That Elantra was all over God's creation that night. Just driving around, circling the house, and then just runs in there, stabs 4 people to death, and just gets back in the Elantra and just drives off. I mean, but yet you don't have anybody, you don't see any picture. You don't see any video, nothing of a person getting out of that vehicle. Like, it's 2022. Are you kidding me? You're caught on video, like, picking your nose, for heaven's sakes. Like, give me a break. The only reason I didn't want them to ask for more time, the defense, like, I know they needed it to, like, you know, be able to, like, build the best case that they could. But I believe that you just gave the prosecution more time to fabricate the fuck out of their shit. So I mean, it's just, but it's a catch-22 because you don't want to ever feel like you're not prepared. It's the worst feeling ever. So guilty or not, like I keep saying, like, if Brian Kohlberger's the guy, pin his dick to the wall. You know, I don't even know if I believe in the death penalty or not because it doesn't bring back your kid. I don't need to go killing other people. Like, make him live in hell, in prison for the rest of his life. Like, I don't need that to be ever on my conscience that I took somebody's, like, I just. But if the evidence pointed to Brian being involved with other people, I'd want to know everything about that. Especially if you know how your town works. What is up, Jay for Justice? Are you in here, Jay? Hey, Lana. Hey, chat. Just. It makes me sick. You guys, everybody should be innocent until proven guilty. Everybody should. You want to know why? Because when you're guilty, it's not that hard to prove. It's 2023. Like, it's truly not that hard. Like, go out and try to commit a crime. See if you get away with it. Just see, like, it's, God, it's just, oh man, it's infuriating. When you have the person you have, like, look at in court, like, the girl that had just attacked her lawyer. Like, that's a guilty person right there. Crazy. Out of this world person. Woo. But it's just, I think that you should, I don't know. Oh, wait, here, I just want to show you guys something. This new face cam here. Better yet, after all the body cams and dash cams that I've been asking for, I got my own. So that way I can, like, when I see Brian Enton doing a live outside of the 1122 King House, I'm going to make sure that I get him on cam. Tell him to smile. Like your style, Wicked. Are you from Boston? I saw a Wicked comment. Wicked. You have to be from Boston. No one says Wicked unless you're from Boston. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. What was the other thing that I had over there? Oh, I got my new StreamYard deck. Fancy. Oh, it's fancy. All right. Don't give me a dash cam. Look out, guys. I'm coming for you. Yeah, I'll be in Idaho. I'm gonna make sure that truth happens one way or another. And be like, I got this. Hold my beer. Here I come. Those of you guys that are just joining us, a little late night sesh here. What is it? 12:06. Okay, sorry, a little late though. If you guys remember the Amanda Knox case, I think there's some similarities with the Amanda Knox case in the media.
Something moving. In court, they will say this is probably the last image of Meredith Kercher alive, heading toward her home about 100 feet away. She will be brutally attacked in her bedroom, and we warn you, this police video is graphic. There are 47 cuts and bruises on her neck, legs, face, inside her mouth. Her clothes ripped off, and around her body, etched in blood, a shoe print, a handprint on the wall, a footprint on the bath mat in the bathroom, drops of blood on the faucet. Meredith Kercher had studied karate. It's clear she fought hard for her life. A life filled with possibilities. This is her acting in a music video back home in England. She's studying politics in Perugia, has lots of British friends. Then 6 weeks before her death, she meets her new roommate in the house, the American Amanda Knox. Knox says she...
6 weeks. 6 weeks. 6 weeks. 6 weeks. I mean, how do you kill somebody that you don't even know 6 weeks? Like, I don't even know you. How do you even know? Like, you don't even know the person. How do you like somebody or hate somebody in a 6 week period? And I don't get that.
He and Meredith and their 2 Italian roommates became easy friends, happy. Though at the trial, Meredith's friends will testify she was annoyed by Amanda's loudness and lack of inhibition.
Were you ever jealous of her?
No.
Were you ever angry at her?
No.
Amanda Knox has now been in Italy 5 weeks, going to school in the morning, working for a bar at night. Then she goes to a classical music concert and sees a young man who reminds her of Harry Potter, a graduate student in computer science.
Harry
nerdy,
Potter.
very inexperienced with girls.
Harry
Raffaele
Potter.
Sollecito says he can't believe the beautiful, uninhibited American is looking at him.
Colpe di fulmine?
Un colpo di fulmine. That's a lightning strike. Yeah. He writes about how taken he was with me. And I really liked him as well.
They have known each other just 7 days before they enter the 24 hours at the center of this mystery and this debate, the night of November 1st when Meredith Kercher is murdered. Amanda Knox says she and her new boyfriend have been spending nights at his apartment.
What are you doing the night of November 1st?
November 1st, we stayed in and we had dinner. We watched a movie.
His computer confirms that someone had ordered that movie, Amelie. A witness confirms she and Raffaele were there in his apartment as late as 8:40 p.m.
We smoked. We had sex. We were together. We just hung out together.
She says in the college town of Perugia, marijuana was as common as pasta, and mostly it makes her goofy and sleepy.
How high were you?
I had smoked a joint with Raphael, and what that did to my memories was it made them less concrete, but it didn't black them out and it didn't change them.
You remember with clarity that you did not go out that night. You stayed in the whole night.
We stayed in the whole night.
The next morning, it is undisputed that Knox is the first person in the house where a murder has taken place. She says she made the 5-minute walk from Raffaele's apartment home to take a shower and get fresh clothes. She says she noticed the front door standing open, thought it was odd, but the latch didn't always work. And even though she saw some blood on the sink, she says she took the shower thinking maybe Meredith hadn't cleaned up, or was it her own newly pierced ears?
At the sink when I was taking out my earrings that I noticed that there were speckles of blood. But speckles, a few drops.
Did you see the bath mat? Did you
Not
see the
yet.
footprint?
Not yet. I saw that when I was getting out of the shower. And I thought it was strange.
But you know, people look at this and they say, door open, blood in the bathroom. Those are red alarms.
Well, I had never before experienced anything in my life that was drastic.
Because people think you'd be automatically concerned.
Well, and indeed I was. That's why I called my mom.
She woke her mother in the middle of the night in Seattle. From this point on, Amanda Knox and her behavior will be a kind of kaleidoscope, shifting shapes depending on what you see. Is inappropriate behavior evidence of guilt? Or, as she says, was she just a tone-deaf girl in a trauma? She sits on Raffaele's lap at the police station, playfully making faces. She tells Meredith's grieving friends that Meredith must have suffered. She had her effing throat cut.
Sorry about that now.
I could have been more sensitive.
Not knowing, police are studying her every move. A female officer later testifies that Amanda Knox is doing cartwheels in the waiting area. She says she was just stretching after a long wait.
As far as cartwheels or splits, I never did a cartwheel. I did do the splits. And then later on, she claimed that I was doing a whole number of gymnastics, cartwheels, back walkovers. I did the splits, and that's once.
But do you see how strange?
Well, what's strange is why these things got mischaracterized. I think everyone's reaction to something horrible is different.
And perhaps most startling, this video, the first time much of the world will see Amanda Knox on newscasts.
È una tipica ragazza americana.
Raffaele e Amanda insieme sono...
Knox seen here with her co-accused.
She's outside the house where the body's been discovered.
And people kept saying, where is the anguish? Where is what we think we would do if this happened to our friend?
I've seen the same picture, like the kissing just can't stop. And that's not what that was.
Kissing shown over and over again on the news, but when you look at the tape, there are 3 quick kisses. Then, the rest of the time, she stares into space. She says, thinking about random fate, how she lived in that house too.
My friend had been murdered, and it could just have easily been me. Somehow, she had died in the house where we were living. And it could have been me.
But watching her, police are sure they have the killer, that American girl.
When I first began covering this case, it almost...
All right. So what do you guys think? Do you think there's any comparisons with like this case, the Idaho 4 case, and the Amanda Knox case? That's what we were talking about earlier. And to me, it was just all about the media. Like, the media was there to get those. Do we even know that it was the media that got the visual on her kissing her boyfriend? Where's all the Idaho 4? Like, where are all the neighbors getting the video of everybody that was outside of the Idaho 4 house? Where's any of that footage? You know, Ashley Banfield, I'm going to need you to get the neighbor's cell phone. Like, I'm going to need that. So there's way more than 22,000 white Elantras, by the way. There was only 22,000 white Elantras in the 2011 to 2013 bracket. If you actually extend that, it's way more than 22,000. But Amanda was not in the apartment as Dylan and Bethany were. Yep. But she came home. And, well, we don't know who was in the apartment, actually, in the Idaho 4. Like, I still am on the fence with some of that. But she came home. She said she took a shower. She noticed the speckles of blood on the faucet, but then still continued to take her shower. And then she noticed when she came out the blood that was on the mat. Anyways, either way you look at it, it's to me, it's about the media right now. This case doesn't get back into the courtroom until June 26th. And I mean, Ethan's best friend made the 911 call because he felt for a pulse. Well, who's Ethan's best friend? Ethan's dead. Ethan didn't tell you who his best friend was. So this would be whoever is telling you that Ethan was their best friend. That's how I look at that, which will be interesting to see who's deeming them best friends. I have some pictures I'm going to put out on my community post. Those of you guys that are members, I am having a members only live Friday at 5 p.m. It is behind the scenes as I am completely redoing a studio for all of you guys with 3 monitors, 3 new screens, so I can I'm only doing everything that you guys have ever seen me do on any type of broadcast has been from a laptop. Moving forward after this weekend, I will be doing it from I'll actually have a studio where I have monitors so I can have all different cameras. It's a whiteboard projection screen so that I can have a huge whiteboard on a projection on a wall, and I can use my little thing to do what I want and then just erase it when I need. But a camera just straight up stays on the whiteboard projector. So all of you guys that have been members and have super chatted and things like that and have watched and have viewed, I'm putting money back into making things better. So look at all you 100K channels. I'm coming for you guys. I want to step it up. So, but my wish list, it's out there, but it's you guys, I don't even know how to show that stuff. So will you have a pre-vid up so I can get a notification? Well, I'm telling you guys right now, if you're a member, I already made the live for Friday at 5. So if you go to the members, if you go to the community page, you'll see it has a link there. So you can go and then just it'll hit notification. But go to the community page and you're going to see it's a members only post. It has a link. So yeah, I'm making a black light lab too. So we'll see this weekend. That's what I'm doing. So you guys have to come behind the scene. So we'll see. Lana, can you post a picture on your community tab of you with your apron on? I need to see it. No, you can come over if you want to see me in an apron, Boston. Do you guys know who Fortune Femster is? Oh, congratulations on your mic, girl. Did you get a spit guard on there? Oh, shit. I'm going to leave you guys. As much as I'm super serious and when it's my work, dude, I'm in it. But I want to share something with you guys. If you guys watch Okay, here, I want to share something with you guys. You guys will like it. It's a favorite. It was a Valentine's Day shout out, and I was like, whoa. Here we go. Check it out. This is my humor.
Hey, gal, it's me, your gal Fortune. And it's Galentine's Day, gals. Did I say gal too much? I don't know. You're my gals. Gals! Gals! Meow. For me, it's Galentine's Day every day because I love gals. It feels like we're all syncing up, right, gals? It's that time of the month. That's right, Galentine's Day. Who needs guys when you got gals? Right, ladies? Gals? All right, anyone hungry? Let's go to Trader Joe's. Hey, gals, you like expensive salads? Me too. Hey, gals, who wants to eat snacks on Valentine's Day? None of us have boyfriends, so we can eat whatever we want. Gals, remember that time we were all hanging out together and we were on the couch and Jessica was like, I have a boyfriend. And we were like, what? What about your gals, Jessica? And then we never talked to her again. She's no longer allowed in Valentine's Day. What should we do tonight, gals? How do we celebrate Valentine's Day? Do you guys have a car? Good, because I don't. I need a ride. Are you my gal? Let's hire an Uber. I hope she's the gal. Gals! Except Jessica. She's not allowed. She already has a boyfriend. Back off, Jessica. I just really hope one day we all live together in a house in Malibu and we grow old together eating cheesecake and just being a bunch of dumb bitches. Hey, gals. Update, we forgave Jessica. She's got a UTI and we're all here for her because that's what gals do. Gal pals. We're gal pals. We're gal pals on Valentine's Day. It's gal pal day on Valentine's Day. We're gonna be friends forever. Yay! Anyway, happy Valentine's Day. Be sure to watch Lights Out with David Spade and follow me on social media. Tag your gals.
You guys, I was strolling in the morning. I was losing it. I was like, damn it. Fortune. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Oh, this was worth the wait, Lana crying. I just poor Jessica's. Everybody's like, fuck Karen. Damn you, Jessica. Anyways. Yep. That's my humor for the day. She cray. Oh, who gave some out? Oh, thank you for the gift memberships. Who did it, Boston? I can't see on this end. Damn it. But thank you. Thanks, Ash. Ash did it. Who's Ash? Ash who? Oh, there we go. There you go. Thank you. Ashley Banfield did it. Ashley Banfield, thank you so much. Ashley Banfield, you are a rock star, girl. I knew you would come through for me. All right, guys, that's a wrap. 2 hours, donezo. Thank you, Banfield. Appreciate you. We'll see you on the flip side. Go watch some of the Foxy Knoxie stuff. See what you guys think, though. For reals. But like I said, Friday, 5 o'clock, and then Sunday, Monday, you guys have episode 5 and 6. If I'm feeling frisky, I might go live on Saturday. I told Scott Roeder he needs to come on, so I told him I'm only going live on Saturday if Scott comes. Scotty's Saturday. So again, you guys are great. Love you guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to carry on this party over to the members only. Let's go to the strip club. Frisky Friday. All right, guys. Take care. Love you. Mwah. Good night. Be kind to one another. Moderators, thank you guys for modding. I didn't even put it on slow, so you guys are probably like at it. Woo. Thank you, Ashley Banfield, for the membership buys. Appreciate you. At B. Jeremiah, I love you. All right, guys, take care. Bye.